It's the Happy Families Podcast. It's the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now.
We look forward to Fridays on the podcast, perhaps more than any other day. Well, we like all the days, but Friday is a particularly special day because we get to play around with this thing called I'll Do Better Tomorrow. If you're new to the podcast and haven't heard, a couple of years ago, we came across a kid's book. It was called I'll Do Better Tomorrow. And in this book, we've got a mum who just... Oh my goodness, the mum guilt. That's what you'd call it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just the mum guilt. Gosh, I want to do this better. In fact, I'm feeling a bit like that. There's just so much going on. I just kind of want to lay down on the couch and go, oh. We've got a kiddo who's moved into her very first house. We've got another child who's about to come back from 18 months away in England. We've got kids that don't want to give up bedrooms. And a million other things happening. A child who's refusing to go to swimming lessons. Another child who's picked up a guitar and decided that that's the instrument that she loves after one lesson. We'll see how long that lasts. And there's a million other things going on. And it's just...
Child who won't go to bed because she just got a new drum kit.
Oh, my goodness. There's that one as well. Trying to get this kid to just... We didn't even have sticks. We bought an electric drum kit on sale on Facebook Marketplace, picked it up second or third hand or something, and they didn't give us any drumsticks. So it's 9:30 at night. I'm like, go to bed. And we can't hear the drums.
Oh, I can hear the pitter-patter.
But you can hear the dunk, 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 just on the electric drum kit. You can just hear the soft tapping away. And we're like, go to bed. And she's like, no, I don't want to. Anyway, I'll Do Better Tomorrow is where we reflect on the chaos and the absolute nuts nature of what we try to do in our families and make it better. Hey, before we do it, every now and again we like to share news. And sometimes it's your news, not our news. Got a couple of emails that definitely need to be acknowledged. I got an email from someone. I didn't take note of their name, and I'm feeling so guilty about it.
You should.
I know. I should take note of their name, or I should feel guilty.
Both.
Thank you. Hi, Justin and Kylie. I loved listening to your recent podcast, number 1026. Oh, this was a couple of weeks ago. I was also supposed to read it out last week and the week before, but I keep forgetting. So much going on. This mum says, my husband and I have 6 children, 5 girls and 1 boy. In addition to helpful words and actions, what brings our connection closer with our children is scheduled special nights and special breakfasts. Every month on the number of our kids' birthday, I let them stay up and do an activity with me alone, baking or looking through baby photos, playing games, etc. All the kids want their special time. They're very respectful to allow the one-on-one time for their sibling special night. That was following up number 1026, episode 1026, where we talked about making time for your kids. And just a really nice email. People are doing this stuff. And it's working.
I really like that idea.
Where are we going to fit that in?
The idea. No, I love how they've actually worked it out. You know, in the past we've done things like that and it becomes our Saturdays, whereas they've kind of go, okay, my daughter's born on the 6th, so each 6th of the month I'm going to spend time with her. I love it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a birthday anniversary type thing.
I love the framing of that.
Monthly.
This one came through from Valentina Novak. I did take note of Valentina's name. I'm so sorry to our first mum who wrote. I feel even worse now because I know Valentina. You are not just healing our children, but healing all parents and validating their instincts to be kind to their offspring. You're also educating the society at large, a huge gift to humanity. For so long, society told parents to, quote unquote, discipline their kids if the child merely acted how biology intended. It resulted in generations upon generations growing up with mental health issues and broken hearts. It's such a gift to humanity to have experts such as yourself dismantling myths about childhood behaviours and normalising what is biologically normal, as well as equipping parents with strategies to nurture their children into adulthood so they become kind, confident, and self-actualized individuals who can make great contributions to society. Your expertise is invaluable as a mum to 2 beautiful and very kind children. I thank you. What a nice email.
Oh, thank you, Valentino.
Yeah, we don't get enough of those.
Yeah.
I think we deserve more. I'm begging. I mean, I'm really fishing here. Hey, in all seriousness, if you haven't done this yet, and you listen to the podcast, can you jump onto Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you listen, and leave one of those, what do they call them? Oh, that's right, a rating and a review. Let us know what you think. Preferably a 5-star rating and review. They're the ones that
we love.
We love. But we would love to hear from you and love to get them. Speaking of, we did just receive one a couple of weeks ago that we haven't read out. Nice and quick one. Comes from someone who just said, I'm still a mum. As a mum to 4 kids, 6 to 12, and a primary school teacher working full time, I find the podcast entertaining, insightful, and educational. I'm definitely time poor and love that I can squeeze in some episodes while completing some kilometres on the treadmill. Thanks for the episodes. Okay, thank you for the 5-star review, Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you're getting your pods. We would love to hear from you. Let's get on to it. I'll do better tomorrow. You're first.
I've been thinking about my very overscheduled week.
It's been nuts. It's been nuts.
And one of the highlights was painting beside our daughter and her husband after they got the keys to their new home recently. And as I was thinking about that and just thinking about this process, what I have loved as we have grown this child into this beautiful human being is that we have set this example of what service looks like and have had a willingness to help others when we have the capacity to. And as a result, we have now cultivated this beautiful reciprocal relationship of service. And so while I was away recently, Chanel stepped in and kind of played mum for her little sister because I couldn't be there.
She really helped out, especially when I had to do some travel.
She was amazing. And watching her grow as a mother as a result. She actually shared with me the other day, she was out at a cafe with a friend and her little baby, Indy, she's 11 months now, and she'd crawled away. And Chanel kind of let her go for a little bit, and she was watching her and then finally realised, she wasn't coming back. So she went up, kind of grabbed her by the pants and kind of hoisted her up and kind of carried her back in that crawl, like she's a shopping bag kind of thing, and put her down next to where they were sitting.
Perfect.
And one of the other mums looked up and she was like, that's clearly not your first child. And Chanel was like, actually it is. She was like, I would never have done that with my first child. She said, I'm on my 4th and yeah, he gets that all the time. And she says, like, holy smokes. She's like, yeah, I'm one of 6. Like, I've had lots of practice. This isn't new to me. But I love watching her grow and become this beautiful mum and to be able to have those experiences where we can reciprocate in our capacity to help one another.
I know where this is going.
Is so joyful.
Yep. Yeah, and the reciprocation we've done lots for them, but the major reciprocation item just recently was...
we painted their house.
It was so funny.
Days of painting.
It was so funny.
And I loved watching them, the joy on their faces as they got paint everywhere and, made a mess of it. But it's theirs and they're so excited about it. And it was just a really joyful experience to share together.
They've worked so hard and without relying on the bank of mum and dad, they've been able to buy a place in their mid-20s. Like we're so excited for them, so proud of them. And this is the thing about resilience, right? This is the thing about life. When you do hard things, you feel awesome about you. And we've supported them and helped them however we can, but they're the ones that have done the hard yards. They're the ones that have done it. Can I make this about me for a sec? Because I do like to do that every now and again. I was holding a paintbrush. I was painting. I painted for an entire Saturday. And everybody who walked into the house, and it was a bit of a revolving door that day as people were coming to say congratulations and just sticky beak and see what was going on. Every single person that walked in said, "Whoa, Justin's painting?" I thought he just stood in front of people and told them stories about raising kids.
Well, they look at your hands, honey. They're pretty soft.
Justin's painting. And I did a really good job. It was good.
Of the inside of the cupboards.
I got insulted. Someone said, oh, yeah, they give the inside of the cupboards to people when they don't trust their painting, right? And I did such a good job.
You did such a good job that when Jared sent a video of an update to one of his mates, I thought he must have given him a dialogue. There was nothing. It's literally just...
The video is just a walkthrough of the house.
Walkthrough of the house. And the first thing his mate said, look at those cupboards.
I got skills. Anyway, the take-home message here is...
cultivating a relationship based on service is so rewarding because the conversations you get to have as you work side by side are so organic and real.
There's another take-home message that you haven't mentioned, and it's a hopeful one for any parent who is raising a toddler or a teenager and thinking, I'm not sure if I like this kid right now. Like, it's so darn hard. It gets awesome. It gets awesome if you cultivate that relationship, if you continue to be patient and compassionate and charitable and continue to have a service orientation towards your kids. Yes, you've got to have boundaries and limits. Yes, you've got to have some tough talks. This is not about rolling over and being permissive and letting them have whatever they want.
And it's also not about doing everything for them.
Of course. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely critical that we don't do that. But it's also what it's really about is saying, even when things are hard and even when we act like we don't like each other very much, you need to know I love you no matter what. I'm here for you no matter what. And now that we've got our eldest daughter being in her mid-20s and buying a house, this relationship is it's pure delight. There is so much hope and so much goodness for any parent who's thinking, I don't know if I can keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
As a 17-year-old, I didn't think we'd ever talk again. Like, there is challenge in all relationships, but just the hope-filled message is keep going, because over time you'll reap the benefits.
Love it. It's my turn.
So I'm kind of going to put you in the hot seat.
When you say kind of, you're saying you're in the hot seat.
You're in the hot seat.
I don't like where this is going. I wanted to talk about my grandfather's funeral, and you don't want to talk about that.
Well, if you really want to talk about that, you can.
Where do you want to put us?
I wanted to talk and kind of dissect our games night the other night.
Oh, no. Oh, okay. So before you do this, I just need to emphasize that just because I've written a lot of parenting books and do this podcast, it doesn't mean that I get everything right. And my intentions were good. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So who's I'll do better tomorrow? Is this mine or is this yours?
Well, hopefully you'll get some learning out of it.
Oh, I've had the learning, but let's make it public because you've gone there.
No, look, and then honestly,
if we've got time, I need to talk. I need to soften it with.
In absolute transparency, it could have just as likely been me in that situation.
No. This was me. Okay, what would you like to talk about for my I'll Do Better Tomorrow and our games night on whatever night it was the other night?
So the other night we had a pretty quiet night. It's
the only night that we've ever had a quiet night.
It's almost unheard of in our house. Yep. And we were all home and we had all finished dinner and it wasn't bedtime.
It was about 7:30, maybe 7:40. We usually work towards an 8 o'clock. Let's start shifting everyone off to their bedrooms and calling it a night. I've done the dishes with the kids, a little mini all in. Everyone's done their part. And then I say, what about if we play a game? Now, background here. Number one, I love to do all sorts of things with the kids. I love to be outside. I love to be active. I love to do rough and tumble. I love to throw balls. I love to play sports. I love to read books. I love to do lots and lots and lots of things with my kids. But the one thing that I hate doing is playing games, especially card games.
I just have to interject here. Who has brought the majority of the games in our games cupboard?
I recognise the value of it. I just don't like doing it. And you do a great job and you enjoy it. But I thought, let's just play a quick card game, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, get us through to 8 o'clock. And we'll call it a night. This is me being a good dad. This is me I'm taking a bullet for the team. I'm doing something that everyone else likes to do, even though I don't like to do it. And you go and pick a game that I hate. Number one,
I didn't know you hated that.
Well, you do after the other night. And number two, it's a game that you can't get through in less than an hour. An hour. But I didn't know that. I knew that I hated the game because it goes so long.
Quality time with our children. And when they asked me what game we were playing, I
said 5 crowns. Let's play 5 crowns.
And they said, great, that's awesome.
And I said, my suggestion, whatever, let's do it. So I sat down.
So the reason you hate this game?
Because it takes an hour.
No, because you never pick up a wild. Well,
I never win either.
And the whole time you happened to sit in your chair and grumble.
And it got worse as the night got later because I was tired. I've just started exercising again, and so I get to about 8:15 and I'm kaput. I need to go to bed so I can get up and exercise the next day, and that makes our family really happy too.
And what was funny, I actually think there was a little bit of compensation going on because the grumpier you got, the more energetic and hyped up our children got.
Until I finally looked at them and said, "You are all a lot.
So our Happy Families family games night ended in a little bit of...
Because we were still playing the game. We're still playing the game at 9 p.m. My let's have a quick game before bed has turned into let's stay up till midnight playing games. I'm losing the game. I didn't just lose. I mean, I got absolutely decimated. Every single
By
person
5 people.
beat me. I didn't just come dead last, though. This is a point scoring game. I tripled the number of points that the next closest person. This is keep the points as low as you can. My points were through the roof. I was cranky. And in the end, I kind of ruined the night.
You kind of did.
Everyone went to bed with me growling and cranky and miserable and saying, go to bed and this is stupid and I've had enough. And we don't even say stupid in our house, right? I was just
stupid idiot.
Oh, jeez.
So I'm laughing with you, I promise.
Yeah. I don't know what the I'll do better tomorrow is here. Don't play games if you don't like playing games.
No, I wanted to dissect it a little bit because I did say at the beginning this could have just as easily been me, and I do have vivid memories of times where I have been in exactly the same space as you, not because I don't like games, but what was actually going on for you internally. You said that, number one, you wanted to be a good dad.
I wanted to be a good dad.
And you wanted to spend time with the kids.
100%.
But what was your expectation of that night?
And this is the critical thing, expectation versus experience. My expectation was that we would sit down, play a fun game for 15 minutes, I would win, and then everyone would go to bed.
And you were looking forward to us being able to spend some time together once the kids went to bed.
I did expect that you and I were going to get to spend some time together before we closed our eyes and fell asleep. Why is that funny?
And here's the challenge. More times than not, when we have a meltdown as an adult, it comes down to unmet expectations.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. So I was tired. I wanted to have a quick game. I wanted to spend time with you. I really wanted to get some sleep. And I wanted to be asleep by sort of 9 o'clock. And we're still playing 5 crowns. That I'm losing at 9 o'clock.
Are you a bit of a sore loser?
No, I'm not a sore loser.
Slow.
I'm not a sore loser either, except when I'm losing. Okay, so the take-home message, because we need to wrap this up. We've talked too long, and now I'm thoroughly disappointed in myself all over again.
You want me to do the take-home message of your I'll do better tomorrow?
I thought that it was... Okay, the take-home message is don't play games you can't win. The take-home message is don't play games if you don't like playing games. Like, stay in your wheelhouse. Don't try to make other people happy. No, I don't know. What is the take-home message? This is your story. I'm making this up. I need some help here. Gosh, I might be a parenting expert, but sometimes we all have blind spots. Help me out here. You're looking at me like you don't have one.
I actually think it's fair. If playing games actually frustrates the heck out of you, then it's not the best way for you to spend time with the kids.
We should have done some rough and tumble on the living room floor.
You could have done that, but
no,
I
we
would
couldn't
not have
because
joined you.
the dog pooed on the floor, and then one of the kids tried to clean it up, and the carpet now has so much water in it that you can't lay on it for another 3 weeks until it's all dried out.
You don't need to tell everybody everything.
This has just been our week, folks. Hey, I don't know if this is a helpful take-home message or not. I don't know if that story was useful. You know what? The take-home message, even the guy that writes the books and does the podcast and has the TV show sometimes gets it really, really, really wrong and makes everyone cranky, and they go to bed wishing that they hadn't played games with Dad.
For me, the take-home message is that when we have unmet expectations, it's really hard to kind of claw back. And so when we go into experiences, especially with our kid, it's about being where your feet are, not worrying about what's going to happen in half an hour, not worrying about what's going to happen in an hour, but just being with them. And if they're enjoying themselves, then obviously you're doing something right.
You say that, but didn't get that time with you. We both went to bed cranky one of those nights. We've gone way over time. We hope that you've stayed with us. We hope that the Happy Families podcast is, helping you do better tomorrow. And we will be back on Monday with an Olympic gold medal podcast. We're going to talk to you about how you can raise Olympic-level kids. Can't wait. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rulon from Bridge Media. Have a great weekend, and we look forward to being with you again on Monday on the Happy Families podcast.